And just to describe the dynamic between these um, two contexts, one way of seeing this could be in the following. So first, we have these parallel uh, explorations. So we have a diverse portfolio of many things that we are trying out. So we have many teams. Everybody is trying out different things, and so we try to find something that works. What we actually find is that some things work better than others, and what we want to do is we want to uh, di di divert resources so that the promising things or the things that give good results, those are being amplified, and those that don't work so well are being dampened down. Or if they have negative consequences, they need to be reacted to. So we do this constant, continuous monitoring, and then we can like sort of move on to see that, okay, so hey, this thing seems like it's stable in time. So we when we do this sort of thing, it seems to this thing doesn't just wash away, but it seems that it works temporarily, and we can then start keep on monitoring these unforeseen side effects, because these are going to be very important. We're going to talk about them later on, but for now, just keep in mind that there can and will be positive and negative unforeseen effects, and we can exploit the positive ones and try and get rid of the negative ones. And maybe at some point we sort of constrain the system enough that we find out these factors that affect whether this thing works or not. So we figure out that, okay, so when we do this thing this way, and we have these things going that way, and our target group is like this, then every time we do this, it sort of works. And at this point, if we think about if we go back to our discussions about replication. So now you're in a position, if you're doing research, now you're in a position where you might be able to actually start replicating your research findings. And then at some point you might actually want to make some sort of a field notes of this, and create this manual that whenever you want to do this thing that we found useful, here are the steps. Go ahead and follow this. But you don't want to make it too rigid, or put it as or make it a law or something like this necessarily, because then it might be difficult to throw away when actually the context changes, and it will change sooner or later, it will. And when it does, we need to reassess, and we need to move away from the complicated context and see what's happening, how do we adjust, and we might have to go back to all the way to this back to the exploration phase. And so this is a cycle that might go, it doesn't go necessarily so neatly from one step to another, but you could need to go back arrows, and but you get the gist that which is basically in here. So you have this sort of a frame of mind of exploration, trying to figure out what works when you're in the complex context. And when you're in the complicated context, then you focus on exploitation. So making use of what you already know, and being sort of efficient in harvesting this thing that you have found useful. And in this complicated context, the outcomes of interventions are hence quite predictable because you've done it before many, many times, and you've figured out what matters for whether it goes wrong or goes right, and you know all of this. Whereas in complex context, usually the outcomes of interventions are much more unpredictable. And just to remind us that it's not so that every problem is in one of these contexts, but each problem or decision-making situation or a research project that we have, it has some features that belong to the complicated context and other features that belong to the complex context. And this is sort of a simplification of the Cynefin model.